is Warriors Anonymous.
Well, as they say, it was never in doubt, really, was it, guys? It was always safe. Safe as houses, yes. The Warriors, 36 points to 30 victors over the South Sydney Rabbitohs. We've got Daniel Wharekura, Moneta Sauce, also Prince Miles right here, just blocking my view. He decided to come up and feature on this one, so here he is. I'm just completely blocking my face out, which is not necessarily a bad thing, boys. Lads, before we get into it, I just want to do a quick hard on now because we've had some really good comments on our YouTube channel in recent times, and so we had a comment from Te Wharerangi Jay Toria, and he suggested that as the season wears on, in light of recent injuries and whatnot, we may need to actually rest some of our spine. So, interested to get your fellas' thoughts on that with a quick hard or nah, bro. We'll start with you, Moneta. What's your thoughts on the spine being able to go through the whole season?
I guess there's merit to it. We do have quite a few backups. I'd probably rest them if we're certain to make the top four, I guess, and to what position we want to be in the top four if we want a home semi. But I've seen it being done by other teams, so yeah, that's a good point. It could be done, but I'd probably be more so if we're cemented a position that we desire, which is top four.
Yes, yeah, the desire. There we go. That's a good point. Daniel, what's your thoughts? Hard on now, bro? Should we rest the spine or no?
Nah. Like, obviously, if there's injuries or there's clear fatigue or there's potential, and I had I think when Wade came off, he kind of held his leg for a little bit, and I was thinking, oh no, I hope it's not a hammy, but it doesn't.
I saw that too. Yes, I did spot that, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah. But look, I think twofold. We don't have the luxury of, say, Penrith in the past and the Storm do, knowing that you're kind of going to be there. Penrith can't say that now, but and you'd rest them in like origin periods, and you'd rest them towards the end as well. So that I guess our priority is just to make 8, and then I think the other part too is that they continue to need time to build their combinations as well. So so I'm not a fan, but obviously if there's fatigue or injuries, you're going to have to, and we've got great depth.
Nice, boys, nice. Speaking of injuries, we had our, I guess what you call it, category 1, I suppose. I don't know. I just decided to make that term up. But Mitch Barnett, the dreaded ACL, the old, season killer, and probably into next as well, at a guess. Moneta, bro, what does this mean for our hopes in 2025?
I don't think it'll impact us a little bit, but I do think we've got the backup required to. Next man stands up, next man up mentality. I think we've built that quite good. We've got James Fisher-Harris and got my wish of Tanner coming in. And last time I saw him play, he was like outstanding. I thought he provided a bit of, the alpha mentality. He just looked, tough out there. So he could be a good replacement. But it's going to hard to replace the caliber of Barnett, but I don't think it's going to impact us too much because we've got James Fisher-Harris. If we didn't have him, I'd be slightly worried.
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive loss, a state of origin caliber forward, one of the best props in the game.
Australia, played for Australia last year.
Exactly. So that's a pretty significant sort of workload. In the end, it kind of it does tell. Daniel, who do you see to step up and help fill that void?
Just first on Mitch, like, you just feel for the guy because I think he's at the peak of his powers. He's on top of his game. I think the pinnacle, really, considering the Kiwis smashed the Kangaroos now, so they take international football back a bit. The pinnacle state of origin, and the pinnacle has been on the winning team, being the starter as well, and that's where Mitchie B was, and obviously the impact he's had for us. So, firstly, I agree with Moneta. Like, it's gutting for him, gutting for the team, but we have a lot more depth than we had in previous years. So, previous years we would have all been crying on this podcast going, oh, season's overdone.
Last year was a prime example.
We've cried many tears.
Many tears. But holding the tears back because, I just think, as Moneta said, next man up, but we've got a good catchment there. So I think Jackson Ford, like he slotted in straight away, played the rest of the game. Like, what an engine! Like, he naturally makes an appearance. Yeah, real stoked for Tanner to kind of, perhaps, I don't know, they might play a bit of Ducks and Drakes towards the end of the week, but he was awesome as well, and hope he gets his a role on the bench. And Dimitrik, and we could talk about it later, but like
Demigod.
Yeah, he was just on fire. Like, I think, if anything, it gives those younger middles, a little bit of, hey, Webby's nursed them in a bit as well, but like, actually, you've got to become a starter as well, and not to forget that Marata floats around there too, right? So still got some punch in the middle. But hey, to be fair, he's been amazing on the edge. So yeah, in previous years, heartbreak and season over. Not this year. I think we'll be all right.
Nice, bro. Who are we thinking for captain? Who takes over the captain's armband when Fisher Harris comes off the field? Who's the guy? Is it a Capewell or an Egan? Who are we thinking, Moneta?
Probably Capewell. Yeah, I reckon we'll just slot in. He was the captain previous game when against the Raiders. Mind you, we only lost by 6 points then, and we didn't have Barnett and stuff. So James Fisher Harris. So going back to Daniel's point, I think we still got the arsenal to keep up with it. But yeah, Capewell. I'll go with Capewell.
Good call.
It's a bit of an interesting one as well, because Capewell's going to have to bump out. We think potentially out into the centre spot. I'm not sure if he'll stay in that way, because obviously we're going to lose Barnett in the middle and then potentially have to push Capewell out to a centre. So that does create a different sort of rotation.
Latoa, is he?
Yeah, well, he's around. I don't know exactly what the deal is with him. He might have had some kind of lingering sort of injury because didn't play last week or a New South Wales Cup and that. So we'll see, I guess, if they bring him up to join the top team. But it was one thing I was really pleased about was watching the character of this team. We lose our skipper, we lose Barnett, and then we throw an intercept pass. All of a sudden, we're down 12-4 over in the Rabbit Warren, and many years gone by, that would have ended up being a complete hiding the other way. So, how pleasing is that for you, for the boys to just keep at it?
Yeah, I mean, we could all agree, down 12-4, that the scoreline should have been the other way. And it's just the nature of how the game works. Right? I think we were the better side for the most of the game, and especially that period as well. But there was just a couple of things that, look, we get called for a head-eye shot because a guy slips over and falls into a shoulder, and things like that, and then obviously, and we'll talk a bit about it, but, they had some key individual players that did some awesome stuff, and Keon Kalamatangi had spiders on him, and he has had spiders on him all season in the middle. Apparently hates playing in the middle, but hey, he's a beast. So yeah, awesome to come back from that. But I think they knew, in a game, we all knew as fans, hey, we're dominating here, yet we're behind the scoreboard as well. So the luck turns sometimes, and the bounce of the ball goes your way, and we managed to get the ball bounce our way. So, good. I mean, we know we would have just fallen in pieces in previous years. So not this year, not this team. This team's tough.
Yeah, loving that. Probably not loving so much. Webby made reference to it as well, Moneta, was the fact we were up 30-12. And all of a sudden, that lead was quickly eroded. How did you see that passage of the game?
Latrell was,
Latrell Mitt.
He was the instigator, wasn't he? God, I think of White Chicks when I think of Latrell. But but he was creating all the opportunities, and I thought they were going to come back. But again, we showed resilience, held off, and we did it. So, and yes, Metcalf's been missing a few kicks, but hey, we're still winning. So, anyone that's going, oh, yeah. Okay, there was a couple of moments I was like that. It was like, oh no. But we've won the game. So it shows that we still have that resilience at the end to kind of keep them out. But I would like a game where I don't have to stand up for the last 5 minutes. Yeah.
I'm just going to clarify something you said during that passage, just for anyone who's watching and is not entirely sure what you meant by it. When you said when you think of Latrell, you think of White Chicks.
The movie.
What Moneta means is he's thinking of the character Latrell, played by Terry Crews, in the movie White Chicks. So,
The movie.
just,
Let me clarify that. The movie.
yeah. Just to make sure everyone is of the correct understanding. But yeah, Daniel, like that, Latrell, he's a special player. He's got an ability, much like yourself in earlier days. Where you're able to throw, big looping forward passes outside, and no one even picks it up. Like I didn't even see it at the time I was watching it, and then wasn't until later a couple of comments started coming through about forward passes, and I looked it back and I was like, shit, it was forward.
No, but it was the same old argument. It passed back and it floated forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
That old chestnut.
I mean, no, we just said it before, actually, like, take Latrell Mitch out of that game, we win that game 36-12, 36-6. So he is phenomenal. And I guess this time of year, right, he's just come off Origin, he's building to, he's got it all, eh? He's got run, he's got pass, he's got kick. He showed it as well. But yeah, a couple of points. And actually, if you caught Sean Hub on the Play On podcast as well, Shawnee J's little segment, this probably might, and not looking at anyone like Moneta, it might appease some fans about
No, I saw
Dylan.
it too. Don't worry, man.
Yeah,
I saw it.
Yeah.
I still think he jams in.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess what was, without going through the whole segment, people would have seen it as well. Probably just highlighted that the execution was phenomenal. But like, just awesome to hear, like, Shawnee go through that and understand how much information the guys are going through as well. And I think probably it indicates. Yeah, it just indicates that the footy IQ now that our team has as well, our players have as well. So, but like Trump, just phenomenal when he wants to as well. He's just been guilty probably of not being fit enough throughout seasons and coming in and out of games as well. So I guess the good thing as well is that he seemed to be on the good side of him. Like, he did destroy us, but it wasn't like coming up against the Roosters and he wants to take people's heads off. So, but yeah, you just got to applaud that as a Warriors fan. But credit to us, we repelled him at the end and got the win.
So Sean was defending Dallin, basically, as a lot of people were getting up in arms about him jamming in off his wing, and then everyone's like saying, stay on your wing or on your man. Sean explained it that by him essentially jamming in a little bit, he was forcing the tougher of two options for Latrell, i.e. it was harder for him to pass it out all the way out to the winger than it was to the centre. And I understand that, and that kind of has changed my viewpoint a little bit, but I got a little bit of a caveat to that, I suppose. And that is the fact that I still feel like if Dallin takes a half step to his right towards the sideline, he can still cover off the centre, and he won't let Alex Johnson go in, in the corner. You can just bump him over the sideline. So I still feel like he can. I feel like he can still do more, even if he's right, making the right decisions technically.
There is the other cue though, and I don't know if he's heard that bit as well, but and to Shawnee's credit, he said Lecker needed to be better there as well, and that's that inside pressure. So perhaps he didn't give that step to the right because he didn't feel his centre come with him as well. So yeah, I mean, like, it's one of those things, do you get your pants pulled down kind of with the centre going through the hole, or you gamble and you make him make the best play, and maybe perhaps he just thought, I still can get to him. And that was Johnson, right? Well, brought up his 200th try as well, so that's got to be celebrated. Is deceptively quicker than you think, I reckon, because he's obviously, at the end of his career as well, but perhaps Dallin thought, I got him, I don't got him.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I like about Roger defending on the other side. Like, he does jam in a bit, but thing is with him is if he jams in, then he busts it to the sideline and just guns it to his man. And maybe if we saw that kind of thing from Dallin as well, that, just say, I know a lot of people have been getting on him, but anyways, we did have a lot of attack problems, which was well noted against the Raiders the previous week. A couple of comments came through. Commissar 6860 had a comment saying that Capewell's leg speed cost us, slow leg speed cost us close to the line. And also John Stevens 282 actually commented saying Egan's lack of a grubber kick cost us against the Raiders. Now, fast forward a week, And for probably the entire duration of this podcast series, I have bemoaned the fact that we as a team are unable to, just put a little grubber kick into the in goal and get a result from it. Yet other teams seem to have some random bench forward come on and roll in a grubber kick, and it's an absolute perler. And this week it was us. Jackson Ford comes on the field, rolls in an absolute beauty of a grubber kick. He was, he was pretty much close to getting a try himself. Rocco got it. But Moneta, how cool is it to see some X factor coming through, not just from Jacko, but Dimitrik and Leka. There's some excitement there.
It was great, but I noticed they played a bit more direct, not too much side to side, and that's where I think they created a bit more of that structure in terms of being able to play a bit more attacking football. Because I thought they were a bit side to side against the Raiders, but they were just a bit more direct. And Dimitrik, those offloads killed them. Oh, I loved it, And then that one try from Leka, only Leka could do that. He just brings a smile to my face when I see him score those tries. At least he didn't kiss before he was over the line. But yeah, and that one from Metcalf's hooning down 80 meters, that was good. And Roger doing that one in the corner, being able to bust off his opposition winger. God. He doesn't do those high-flying ones that DWZ does, but he seems to be able to bust that tackle or make that contact hit and make that post-contact meters to be able to score that try, like against the Raiders where he did that amazing whatever, just like over his head, put down.
Shades of the reverse scorpion, wasn't it?
So, he seems to be able to absorb the hit before getting to the try line, which I really like. So it was kind of like Montoya, actually, in some ways. He used to do that. It's good to see. But I think the key was they played a bit more direct first up, and then were able to create it going in terms of making those gaps. And so it was good to see. Yeah.
Just for the Jacko grubber, fantastic grubber, summed up the situation. But if Brian To'o gets sin bin in the corner for jumping first, the guy hitting him and then coming down and playing him, then the defender, which was the halfback, I think, he's got to go. Like he runs side by side with Jacko, then he dives early to take Jacko out. And obviously we got the result with a try, but that's a professional foul. He's dived early. He's nowhere near the ball as well. But anyway, I think Badger found a reason to. Man,
can I make one more shout out? And that's to CHT. Oh my God. All those people were saying that he shouldn't be number one. And I was a bit like, at the beginning, but now he's shut me up. He's just he was the man at the back, made those meters.
Oh right, Chance, right, okay.
Chance.
Yeah.
TNK.
Oh, get it mixed up.
You mix it up, you see your triple letter word scores.
I think we said this a few weeks ago that if it wasn't for Chance, we didn't win, a couple of those games. And he is just on another level. I mean, how many 300 plus run games has he had in his career? He is
4 of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's in the top 10. He's got 4.
Yeah.
But it's he's just. And sometimes you just put the team on his back. Awesome. Just put the rest. I know people are like, as we talked about the Tuopiki, and great problem to have. We'll cover those things off. But the guy is he's Dylan Edwards-esque, right? Like he could be picked for Origin. That sort of work rate that he's putting in. That's how good he is.
Yeah, he is that mold. He's just like having an extra forward out there. Great to see him doing well. I know a lot of people have had concerns as well about Metcalf with his goal kicking. I was going to say that I feel as though he kind of missed a couple of easy ones, but then he made a couple of really hard ones. So I was like, well, sort of swings and roundabouts in the end. But I saw a little bit of news over the weekend just where it was mentioned that Payne Haas was looking to go to the open market. So when his contract finishes up at the end of 2026.
The Filipino Voltron.
That's right. Moneta, I'll put it to both of you. If he becomes available, should we recruit him? Yes or yes?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of why not to, but he's just so good. I was just thinking about his offloads. They would be killer for us. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it'd just be like reference to the hot girl, and you've got everyone lined up, and I guess we would be lined up, but we would just talk ourselves out of it because, right, actually we don't want to get rejected, so we won't ask.
Oh, we're talking about white chicks and hot girls.
Yeah, it's definitely it's an intriguing line of conversation tonight. Got to say, but we have become like all of a sudden the Warriors are now a destination for guys to actually up their career, right? Like there's been a number of fellows who've come in. Mitch has been the prime example. Guy come over from Oz and he's just bloody sent his career up and up and up. So really cool stuff, and we'll see what unfold.
Even indicated by Tanner Boyd re-signing, taking in the extra player option, where he could probably walk back into the Titans, or he could walk into at least half of the NRL clubs at the moment, probably start as well. So I didn't realise he's still a young guy, as well. So
He's only 24, 23,
Yeah.
24.
Yeah.
So maybe he wants that kind of Webby Yoda tutelage, right? As well. But and if you're winning and you're in a good franchise, maybe it's worth staying. So I mean that would have never happened 5 years ago. Would have got Reece Walsh vibes. Got signed up, did 2 years, and boom, see you later. So
Exactly. Yeah. Two things with Tanner Boyd. He's been playing great in the New South Wales Cup. That's actually, I'll add three things in. Also, I think he looks a bit like a Roman soldier. Just his look.
Yes.
Yeah. If you put him in costume, I reckon he'd look spot on. Also, could that extension maybe for him? It could be a win-win sort of deal where he's like, all right, I will sort of serve my time here with the Warriors, do the backup role with an eye to perhaps going over to Perth when they enter in 2027. Maybe.
If you're Perth, you're going available halfbacks. I mean, you're going to go for the big ones as well, but he'll be coming into his prime as well. So, and actually, playing good footy, reserve grade cup footy potentially, and like he will get a shot in first grade. Like there'll be a period where we need him to be in there as well. So, maybe you're right. Maybe it's have a good form sheet and get the bank when it comes.
That's right. Yeah, wait for that opportunity. Now, lads, we have arrived at the midpoint of our regular season. So the Warriors have played 12 games, won 9, lost 3. The same number of wins that they actually had.
Say that again.
Yes, won 9, lost 3. The same number of wins we had for all of 2024. So I thought we should do a quick.
You jinxed us, have you?
I'm just going to do a quick midterm report, really. Because thinking back to when we were at school and our respective reports and that, I remember the midterm was always a bit of a worry for me, to be honest. I've got lots of talks too much and doesn't listen enough. So let's do a quick midterm report, boys, on the Warriors season. We'll start with you, Monitor. Give us 2 things you like and 1 thing that you don't about the season.
One is resilience. I think it's been shown this year that, we're able to come back from tough situations. Oh, that's been fantastic. Where in the past we haven't been able to. And the other one is kind of more of a sucker Pompey.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the return of Pompey. No one can dispute. And we know that person that just loves the bag Pompey, but he has shown his worth this year. So yeah, it's good to see that he's making his good return to form. So yeah,
that person bagging him wasn't me, was it? Because that's
no. It starts with him. It sounds like Mortal Kombat. Same initials as Mortal Kombat.
Okay, now one thing you don't like.
One thing I don't like, obviously the Mitch Barnett one gutted. It's hard to know. The one that comes to mind is Mitch Barnett. I mean that's the obvious one for me. He brings leadership, brings that toughness, which was missing against the Raiders, but we do have JH. But yeah, and like you say, an ACL. I've done 2 of them, and so it's going to be a bit of a journey, but I'm sure he'll make it back in time for next season if he rehabs right. He could be back for the start of the season.
So wait, did you do 2 ACLs and 2 Achilles as well?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my goodness, man.
The full set.
Oh my goodness. The full set.
Full set. both legs, heads down, trying to squat.
Yeah. Oh boy, oh
Yeah,
boy. You make sure you take it easy now, all right?
No. All I do is gym now.
Yeah. Need to do a report on your injuries, bro.
Yeah.
Daniel, bro, what were your midterm reports like back in school days?
Well, they probably had you in there, especially the St. Bridget's ones. They were probably Daniel could be doing so much better if he focused on his work, rather than focusing on his friendships, and playing touch on the quad. There was one mention of the late gang thing.
The late gang.
Thing.
That's right.
Yeah,
yes.
that was back in the day as well. So, yeah, but the common theme wasn't super bad, but
room for improvement, much like the Warriors. Bro, what's your midterm report? 2 things you like and one thing you don't for the Warriors.
So the first thing I like is we had, not unearthed because we have been this, but Webby has nurtured a stable of young bulls, forwards, that over the years, he's dropped them into first grade, pulled them out, he's kind of nursed them through, and now, they're like his little minions, and they're out there now, and they're doing things. And not only are they solid first graders, that can, just can hold their end up, indicated by like segments during the day game. But if you go back to that period where we put like 3 tries on the Rabbitohs, we were rolling. That was off the back of like dynamic young forwards, big, strong, offloads, fast. And it's like, that's a blueprint for the future, right? Like, this is how we're going to beat teams up. So, yeah, that's been awesome as well. And not just that, then you've got the Jacko forwards. I still think he's a young forward of sorts. The Tanner's coming through, Laban. So, yeah, really love the depth of that. And the second part kind of also another view on that, is that the general squad of the Warriors. So I guess the benchmark is to kind of rate who's got the best squads. If you think about your top 2 teams, is where they're positioned on the ladder. We're sitting third in the NRL, and we're sitting first in Cup. So, you put that squad together of players, and we've got talent, first grade talent across the board as well. And so that depth was tested really early on too. It's going to continue to be tested, and for the most part, we've managed. There've been some weeks we've been, putting out sort of back rows and winger and centers and wingers and all sorts of stuff like that. But we've got quality footballers. So yeah, that's the other 2 things I'm most happy about as well. The thing I'm kind of concerned of, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the wish to be more fluent in attack. You see the Cowboys back up points. You see the Sea Eagles can turn it on. You see the Storm. Obviously, they can do things. We don't quite have that. Our attack isn't kind of there at that level. But then I started thinking. I mean, I was watching the Roosters game. Like, man, they scored some amazing tries. They dropped the ball 20 times as well. So I was like,
they lost it. That's one game where they actually lost it from themselves.
Yeah. And on one hand, you're like, I love that. They scored some amazing tries. But on the other hand, it's like, actually, for us, our for and against probably indicates how we are. Like, our defense is amazing as well. Yeah, we racked up 30 points against us as well. But in general terms, yeah, our defense is so strong. But yeah, attack isn't as fluent and as sharp, but actually we're finding our own way. If we go around, we win every game by 2 to 6 points, and we win the grand final by 2 to 6 points. Who gives a shit, right? Like, so maybe that's our DNA is just going to be grit. So yeah, it was actually, do we have other levels, and do we need another level? That's the question.
Yeah, nice, bro, nice. I'm just going to add another one as well, just quickly, because we've got to jump out of here in about a minute or so. I'm just going to add one that I do like, and that's been the play of Luke Metcalf. The bro he's come out, and he's just shown, like, he had to sort of prove to a lot of people who hadn't really seen him play much in the number 7 jersey that he is a 7, and he's done it before, and he's done it all through his age groups and whatnot before he started getting bumped around in different spots. So cool to see him, get back in there and make a real good fist of it. I mean, was he close to leading the LEMs at the moment? So can't get much better than that, I suppose. Boys, but yeah, we do have to jump out in a little bit, but Moneta, we've got a big battle coming up against the Sharkies. Who are you looking in terms of the key matchups, the key battles on the field? Who are you looking forward to?
I was looking to see if Mulitalo is in, but he's not, so I'm quite happy about that.
I wanted him in there.
Because he's a good player. He's definitely is a good player. I'm looking forward to the battle between AFB and JFH. Yeah, that should be a good battle. I'm interested to see how our forwards match up against theirs. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to that.
The blonde goatee up against the furniture removalist. I like it. Daniel, bro, who's your key battle in the game against the Sharkies?
I think it's going to be a bit out wider. I think because, I don't know, they have all their cattle available, but the Sharks have an innate ability, second favourite team sometimes, to put teams to the sword as well. And we've been on the, look, don't have to reference it. I'm going to say it. The worst game I've ever seen of Warriors ever play is when we lost to a bloody 11-man Sharks team. So the Sharks DNA have the ability to carve teams up, but so yeah, I'm just really interested to see how that sort of centre outside back battle goes. However, and obviously AFB and Fisher Harris. So, however, yeah, I'm pretty confident our boys get the job done as well. Just a quick shout out to a really, really unfortunate guy, Rocco Berry. The hamstrings have re-emerged, so it's a bit of a niggle for him, eh? So, yeah, you got to feel for guys that just work hard to get back, and then next thing you know, you get a bit of a twinge. So hopefully you can spend some time, get it sorted.
Can we just also confirm before we jump out, Daniel, does that mean that the Sharks for 2025 are officially your second team? Or
eggs were, but they've kind of fallen off pace. And I've just got a slight soft spot, and this is going to kill Warriors fans for the Eagles, just because I love the Jazz. The Bros playing some good footy there as well. But yeah, no, I'm off the second team. So I don't need one. Who needs one?
You're just flirting with a few of them. My God, I thought you were about to say Melbourne for a moment there when you sort of said you're going to offend a lot of people, but I love that it wasn't them, thank goodness. Boys, I know I finished with something very poignant last week in regards to the Rabbitohs not being an animal. I can confirm that this week the Sharks are an animal. Thank you for watching. This has been Warriors Anonymous. We'll see you next week. Up the wires. Go!
That's a good one.
La cucaracha, ya no puede caminar.